My name is Lauren Lim Jackson. I am an artist, an educator, a lover of excellence, and welcome to the Black Excellence Show. Written by Jordan Cabrera and composed by Thomas Wynn, the Black Excellence Show tells the story of brave African-American heroes who dared to leave their mark on the world despite all that held them back. This Black History Month, join us as we celebrate the famous and hidden figures of American history.
I helped found the NAACP, and yet still there's so many folks that don't know about me. I fought for Black rights, I fought for women's rights, I used my inspiration for every highlight. First off, you should know I was born into slavery. All of this adversity contributed to my bravery. I co-owned a magazine. I wrote about the truth. I let my boldness be an inspiration to the youth. They were mistreating my people. No, I didn't want a sequel. They were doing cruel things that should not have been legal. Yeah, my people were glad, but white people, they were mad. They drove me out of Memphis. Yeah, things were getting bad. Next stop was Chicago and had a family. I wasn't gonna let no bad times try and stop me. I continued to speak and I continued to write. I knew that what was going on around me wasn't right. I didn't sacrifice change to avoid fright. I didn't like what I was seeing, so I used my words to fight.
Suffrage groups threatened to withdraw.
Are the ladies afraid we'll march out of step? Call their bluff.
We can't afford to lose their support, not with the Democrats in office.
Who's we? Women? Or just white women?
Now, wait a minute.
We have one agenda. Suffrage. Add another issue.
If we don't stand up now, what happens to Negro women when you finally get the vote?
It's hard being a child with all of my illnesses. Ask any one of my 21 siblings. They were there to witness it. Until the age of 12, I had to wear a leg brace that didn't stop me from giving 100 in every race. Now, when I hear that gun go off, you know that I go. Nothing can stop me now, not even the pesky polio. My first major track event won't beat around the bush. I didn't win, but even after that, I didn't throw the towel in. 3 gold medals in track and field, just won Olympics. I went in and lit that track up like it was nobody's business. I was the fastest woman in 1960. Who would have thought when I was born sickly? I was diagnosed with cancer of the throat and brain, but even after that, I know my legacy will still remain. I was a second grade teacher, and I was a coach too. I survived by my children. May my life inspire you.
And by the time it got to me, I saw that we were behind. And I made myself a promise that day. I said, if you catch the Russian, it's history, retire. If you do not catch the Russian, you will have to run another 4 years for the Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. I caught the Russian.
I proved that people should play based on talent, not the race. And it's my determination that got me on first base. I lived for 53 years and I've seen a lot of things. The world went crazy when I first stepped up the swing. At first I was nervous. I thought, do I even deserve this? And I don't know if you heard this, but I did 2 years of service. I grew up in a world where people were judged based on their skin. Little did I know the world would one day name Jackie Robinson. Baseball's something that I love, so I decided to rise above. I went out and put on that glove. Believe in who you are and not what others think of you. We have a lot of people against me, but you know I stayed true. True to my people, true to myself. There was a time where I couldn't listen to anybody else. I knew that I was good. Wasn't nobody stopping me. I was gonna play and I didn't need anyone to agree. Number 42, playing white and blue. Got my own statue, making change for you.
And I also want to say how pleased I am that my family can be here this afternoon and to thank baseball for the tremendous opportunities that it has presented to me and also for this thrilling afternoon. I'm extremely proud and pleased to be here this afternoon, but must admit I'm going to be tremendously more pleased and more proud when I look at that third base coaching line one day and see a black face managing in baseball. Thank you very much.
If I didn't act fast, Cornish would have been gone. A man's life was in my hands and the pressure was on. He was on death's doorstep, I was shaking in my shoes. So much was at stake I couldn't afford to lose. Dr. Williams is in, making medical change. Move over, pass the scalpel, let the doctor do his thing. First black-owned hospital with integrated doctors too. Saving lives, healing wounds, I made a medical breakthrough. When it comes to surgery, I was made chief. I saved a lot of families from heartache and grief. It doesn't matter where you're born or what's your starting location. Anyone can be successful if they fight for an education. You could be light or dark. You could be short or tall. Anyone can make it if they give it their all. Everyone is born with nothing and they leave with nothing too. But why let having nothing affect what you choose to do with you? I didn't wait for doors to open, I broke the doors down. I left apprenticeship and I turned things around. I started off small, but look at me now. My life alone makes other people say, wow. History needed changing and I showed it how. I'm done with my story and it's time to take a bow.
Presented to Dr. Williams' hospital, and since his clinical condition had continued to deteriorate, Dr. Williams had to decide to operate on this patient contrary to the teaching and to the norm in the medical community at that time that cardiac wounds were not to be tampered with. He proceeded in opening the patient's chest, opening the pericardial sac lining of the heart, and discovered that the patient had a stab wound. This is a model of the head, and I will point to the region of the stab wound according to the description in his operative records. It showed about a half a centimeter or half an inch stab wound, about 2 centimeters from the right coronary artery, right around this region.
First black woman to get her own show, I changed the game. Broke the color barrier so black girls could get their chance of fame. Model, singer, actress, don't forget an activist. It was hard being in the business as a black sis. I'm a black woman gifted in multiple arts. My sitcom, Julia, was blowing up the charts. I was nominated for an Emmy Award 3 times. I sung with a passion and put feeling in my lines. I won the Golden Globe Award in 1968. I was a bona fide celebrity. My career was going great. Made a path for women of color in the industry. I was a role model to black girls of what they could choose to be. Cancer may have got me, but not without a fight. Nonetheless, I got to see black women shine bright.
I wanted this. I'm like Abe Burrows. I really wanted this. If you think I'm not going to talk about Richard Rodgers, you're crazy. I've wanted to be on Broadway for 7.5 years. And he put me there. I would like to go on and do other things, but I will never forget, because this man knocked on my door. He called me, and I love him, and thank you very much.
Many of my people look down on the police, and some officers look down on them too. And it breaks my heart, it tears me apart to see society's gone so askew. When you imagine the police nowadays, do you remember I was one of them too? Or do you see a white face, striking fear in a place, doing what they choose to do? Now, my people, do not fear the police because they have a loaded gun. Though I know that there are some who've taken lives by the ton, but who are we to judge them as one? I'm disappointed in those officers that give us a bad name. It's people like that that make people think we're all the same. If we respect our fellow humans and see other based on virtue with a little love and kindness, then maybe we could get through to one another and get along with each other if only this dream were true.
Rosa P., born in Tuskegee, February 4th, 1913. Now I didn't know that day that I would say no, but they wanted me to get up, and I knew I couldn't go. We all paid the same fare, and we all breathed, oh. So why should I give up my seat because the whites say so? And in my own defense, and with much feeling of objection, I said I wasn't sitting in a white section. By 1956 in February, I was arrested twice. I was tired of playing nice. To segregate against another human is a vice, so we boycotted together, but not without a price. My husband lost his job and I was threatened over phone, but my people were beside me and I wasn't on my own. So why let fear stop you from doing what's right? I urge you young people, stand up and fight.
Why you didn't sit in the back of the bus that day?
About the third stop from where I boarded the bus, there were some white people got on, and they took all the front seats and left one man standing. And when the driver saw this man standing up,
White man.
Yes, he was white.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't. The passenger didn't ask for the seat at all. They didn't say anything, but just found a place to stand. The driver noticed him standing, and that is when he told the four of us to let him have those seats, which meant that four of us would have been standing, and then this man could only occupy one seat, and then there would be 3 vacant seats.
Because you weren't supposed to sit next to a white man.
That was the rule then.
So you did not get up?
No, I
Do you know
didn't.
why?
Yes, because I didn't think I should have to get up. I had already paid my fare, and I'm sure he didn't pay any more than I did.
Thank you for attending the Black Excellence Show. While we may not be in person, we appreciate your support and hope that you continue to uplift Black voices this February.
One.